common problem which we come across while in a clinical posting or in hospitals. Most of the patients with signs of jaundice or cirrhosis or fatty liver, steatosis, all of them can lead to the alcoholic liver disease. So by its name we can say that due to the consumption of alcohol it can occur. So if a man is consuming about 60 to 80 ml per day, 60 to 80 ml per day, and a woman is consuming about 20 to 40 ml per day alcohol for 10 years, it can lead to the alcoholic liver disease. Okay, so alcohol content in drink, this is the most important thing we should remember, because while in the postings, while in the medicine postings, while taking the history of the patients, we should know how much he consumes an alcohol or how much drink he consumes, which form of drink he consumes. Okay, so 12 ounce of beer consume about 5% alcohol. 5 ounce of wine contains 12% alcohol. Just vice versa type it is. Okay, reverse it for remembering it. Hard liquor of about 1.5 ounce contain 40% alcohol. Okay, in India we are more famous with the packs: 1 pack, 2 pack, small pack, large pack. So one small pack contains 30 ml alcohol, while a large pack contains 60 ml alcohol. Okay, and if we talk about the Patiala packs, they are mostly of 120 ml. So you should remember these points. Now if we have to calculate the alcohol intake, okay, for that we can simply take an example that a patient is consuming one large pack that contains 60 ml alcohol. Okay, and the normal alcohol present in 100 ml is 40 gram. So 40 by 100 ml into 60 ml, right, will lead to a 24 gram per day alcohol consumed by the man. Okay, so this 24 gram is under the limit, right? About 60 to 80 ml per day if consumed by a man for 10 years lead to the alcoholic liver disease, but the patient has consumed only 24 gram per day. Okay, so he is safe. But if he takes 2 to 3 large packs, it can lead to the alcoholic liver disease, right? If we talk about the etiology and pathogenesis, women are more prone to the alcoholic liver disease as compared to men. Reason is that in women there is a production of estrogen, right? And this estrogen can increase the gut permeability to endotoxins, right? And this endotoxin will increase the expression of CD14 receptors. CD14 receptors in Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells are these macrophages found in the liver cells, right? So if CD14 expression is increased in Kupffer cells, it will lead to the production of cytokines and chemokines, which can lead to the inflammatory response in the cells and lead to its injury. Okay. In alcoholic liver disease, we come across the steatosis most commonly. How this steatosis occur and what is the mechanism of steatosis by the alcohol is like that. In periphery tissues like adipose tissue, intestine, right, by chylomicrons, there is a production of fatty acids, free fatty acids, right, and by the diet also we intake the free fatty acids. There will be the increased amount of free fatty acid. Why? Because there will be the increased catabolism of fat, that is there will be increased lipolysis of fat, and increased lipolysis will lead to the increased free fatty acid, and this free fatty acid will be transported to the liver. Here is a liver. Okay, in liver there is already production of fat by acetate. Okay, so what will happen? There will be fat deposition in liver going to start, right? And this increased fatty acid can be oxidized by mitochondria, okay, to ketone bodies, cholesterol and phospholipid. But due to alcohol, there will be decreased oxidation, and decreased oxidation will still lead to the increased free fatty acids in the liver. है ना? अब if free fatty acid will increase, it will get converted to the triglycerides. Okay, triglycerides by the enzyme alpha glycerophosphate. Okay, there will be increased triglyceride in the liver. If there will be increased triglyceride and there will be decreased apoproteins, there will lead to the lipoprotein formation. Okay, lipoprotein होएगा. Lipoprotein can lead to the release in circulation. Okay, increased lipoprotein will lead to the secretion and release in blood circulation. Okay, so in the form of VLDL, lipoproteins will be present in plasma, and VLDL, LDL, all these forms are the bad form of fat. We know about this. They can lead to the heart attack also. So first thing, by the fat accumulation in liver in the form of free fatty acids due to decreased oxidation as well as increased synthesis, right? Another thing, this fatty acid gets converted to triglycerides, and triglycerides will convert into lipoprotein, which will be released in the circulation. This can lead to the increased VLDL production, right? And VLDL can lead to the blood clots, and or it can lead to the heart attack formation. Okay, now if we talk about the pathogenesis of alcoholic liver disease, the pathogenesis is mostly unknown to us, but we know that in ALD there was a last formation of cirrhosis. So we can read about the pathogenesis of ALD. Okay, so one thing we need to know is that alcohol or ethanol, okay, is converted to acetaldehyde in our body, okay, by the different enzymes or different production, okay, acetaldehyde. This acetaldehyde is actually a toxic form for our body. It's toxic for our body. So if a patient is consuming alcohol in more than a limited amount, okay, that is the chronic alcohol ingestion is there by a patient, it can lead to the following mechanisms, like it will increase the gut permeability, due to which there will be increased endotoxins, right? Endotoxins will lead to the activation of Kupffer cells or macrophages by the receptor CD14. This Kupffer cells will release the chemokines, right, like TNF, IL-6, okay, and many more there are, NF, kappa, B. This will lead to the inflammation. We know about this, and inflammation can lead to the hepatocyte death. This is the first mechanism.
Alcohol is that the chronic alcohol will lead to the formation of acetaldehyde, which is toxic and this toxic acetaldehyde will be found in liver, and liver is unable to detoxify it. So what will happen, that this acetaldehyde will add on with the chemicals and proteins. When the acetaldehyde adduct with chemicals, they will stimulate the immune system and lead to the autoimmune response, right? And that will too lead to the hepatocyte death, right? And if acetaldehyde is adducted with the protein, then it will lead to the increased pro-oxidants, That means increased pro-oxidant will lead to decrease formation of oxidants, antioxidants, right? And it will lead to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress means when there will be metabolism of alcohol in liver by CYP2E1 in microsomes. So when there will be metabolism of alcohol in liver by enzyme CYP2E1, that is in microsome, it will lead to formation of reactive oxygen species, okay, like H2O2, superoxides, and all this. And this will lead to the lipid peroxidation, and lipid peroxidation will lead to the cell injury, okay. And what happens that alcohol also lead to the impaired metabolism of methionine, okay. So impaired metabolism methionine will also lead to decrease in glutathione, decrease glutathione, and glutathione act as a neutral part, okay. It neutralize the formed reactive oxygen species, करेक्ट. तो ऑक्सीडेंट का न्यूट्रलाइजेशन नहीं हो पाएगा, so this will also lead to the oxidative injury, and this oxidative stress, oxidative injury will at last lead to the hepatocyte death, and moreover it will start with the stellate cell formation. Then acetaldehyde in mitochondria form the acetic acid, and this acetic acid formation will lead to decrease in NAD, that is good form, okay. NAD is good, but if there will be decrease in NAD, the opposite will happen, and there will be increase in NADH. This lead to the inhibition of oxidation of acetic acid. There will be no oxidation of acetic acid, or sorry, fatty acid, and it will lead to the accumulation of fatty acid in liver. So this was the mechanism, okay. Now if it comes to last about the stellate cell formation, that is the formation of fibrosis, we can learn it like this, that this is our cell, okay, a liver cell. This part is normal and the other is injured, okay. This is the injured hepatocyte cell. What we find here, we find the epithelial cells. These are in their correct form, no destruction of their architecture, okay. And here also we find the epithelial cell, right. Then this is our sinusoidal endothelial cells. These are the sinusoidal endothelial cells, okay. And below these sinusoidal cells we have at last, that are the cells, okay, hepatocyte cells. And here there is a destruction of those, okay, there was destruction, right. Now between the sinusoidal endothelial cell layer and the normal cell layer, there is formation of quiescent stellate cell. Here are the quiescent stellate cell, that is they are not in use but are useful, okay. So what they do is, they stellate cells in normal hepatocyte, they are the quiescent, okay. So they stores vitamin A, they store vitamin A, but, and this area is space of disease, but due to the injury, okay, these quiescent cells will get activated, okay, and this activated cell, okay, will lead to the fibrogen formation. They will form the fibrogen, okay, they will form the fibrogen, ठीक है, and vitamin A will be loss. There will be loss of vitamin A, production of collagen, as well as from the fibrosis. Okay, why? Due to the injuries like cytokine injury, inflammation and all. So this was normal. So if we talk about the mechanism, it also says that inflammation will lead to the stellate cell in space of DSA to be activated, and this activated stellate cell will lead to the collagen deposition, which will lead to fibrosis, that fibrosis will form the alcoholic cirrhosis. Okay, this was the pathogenesis of alcoholic liver disease. Now if we talk about the risk factors of ALD, risk factors is like that the threshold alcohol limit in our body for men is 14 drinks per week. Okay, more than 14 drinks per week can lead to ALD. Okay, and for women that is the more than 7 drink per week for 10 years, they will develop the alcoholic liver disease. In men and women are more prone, है ना, that's why the safe amount of drink for women is 2 drinks per day, and if there is more than 20 gram per day, then it will be risky for them. Third is the most important thing, that is the chronic infection with hepatitis C. Patients who are already being recovered or are in the phase of hepatitis C, infected by hepatitis C, if there is a formation of ALD in them, then it will lead to cirrhosis. Okay, and there, at least if a light to moderate alcohol is also consumed, that is about 5 to 30 gram per day is also consumed by them, then it will be cirrhosis as well as hepatitis C. Okay, in hepatitis C patient, it can also be genetic. Okay, if there is the presence of PNPLA3, that is the ptyalin-like phospholipid domain containing protein 3. If it is activated, then it will also lead to the alcoholic cirrhosis. As well as last, we know that fatty liver, obesity and intake of alcohol over this condition will also lead to the alcoholic liver disease. Now if we talk about the morphologies, morphology is a part of pathology, but we should know as well for the medicine too. So if we talk about the morphology, we will found that in gross, the lungs will look as soft, yellow and greasy. Okay, like we see in cirrhosis patient. Okay, now the most important part is the microscopy. In microscopy, steatosis will be seen. Steatosis are the accumulation of small or large clear vacuoles of lipid. Like we can see in this diagram that these cells are the lipid vacuoles of lipid, which can be large, small, clear, है ना, and found in the cytoplasm of hepatocyte. ठीक है, they mostly affect axina zone 3 of liver, है ना, जहाँ पर alcoholic dehydrogenase is present. Okay, where alcoholic dehydrogenase is present, है ना. So for the first time, the alcohol will start accumulating in this region, and if this alcoholic dehydrogenase is present, then it will affect the area, that is the axina zone 3, right. These small ones are microvascular steatosis, and this large formations, these large vacuoles are macrovascular steatosis. Okay, we will find that in this large, that is macrovascular steatosis,
you can find that the nucleus, can we see here the nucleus of these cells get displaced to the periphery of the cell, right? So hepatocyte nucleus will get displaced to the periphery of the cell, है ना? So this can be seen in steatosis. It can be reversible, starts in the centrilobular area, zone 3. It can be microvascular as well as macrovascular. Now if we talk about the hepatitis condition, in this there is a formation of ballooning degeneration. What is ballooning? That is when there will be accumulation of fat, okay, fat, water, protein. This will cause the swelling of hepatocytes. Like we can see in this condition that the arrow part, this part shows the ballooning. What this show? Ballooning degeneration. Okay, and if there is severe ballooning, severe swelling of hepatocyte, then it will lead to necrosis formation. The most important thing we should remember are the Mallory hyaline bodies. Okay, these are the characteristic features but not specific. Okay, these are not specific but characteristic because they are found in other condition as well, like in non-alcoholic fatty liver acid disease. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, alcoholic hepatitis, in primary biliary cirrhosis, Wilson disease, in chronic cholesterol syndrome, right, and in hepatocellular carcinoma we can find the Mallory hyaline bodies. Okay, but this is also characteristic condition for the ALT. So now we get to know what are the Mallory hyaline bodies. Okay, in this there is what? Tangle, that means उलझे हुए type. Okay, skeins of साइटोकैरोटीन. ओके, साइटोकैरोटीन की टैंगल्ड फॉर्मेशंस होंगी. साइटोकैरोटीन कौन से? 8 and 18 साइटोकैरोटीन प्रेजेंट होगा. ठीक है, सो वी कैन फाइंड here that this part, okay, they are tangled. Okay, what they have? Cytokeratin 8 or 18. There will be dense, as we can see in the pic, dense as well as eosinophilic. Okay, and we can found sometime they are the like clump formation or inclusion. Okay, and situated in the perinuclear area, that is the perinuclear area of the hepatocytes. Correct. There will be neutrophilic infiltration as well. Where we will find the neutrophilic infiltration? We will find them near the ballooning degeneration. जहाँ पर ballooning degeneration होंगे वहाँ पर ये छोटे छोटे all these are the neutrophilic infiltration. Okay, and portal tracts are also infiltrated with lymphocytes. Then cirrhosis. In cirrhosis we will find irreversible fibrosis. So what is fibrosis? Fibrosis can be pericellular or perisinusoidal. Okay, if there is presence of pericellular fibrosis, so this can be pericellular or perisinusoidal. Okay, so अगर there is a presence of pericellular fibrosis, then there will be the formation of collagen, as we have seen in the space of disc, right? There will be the formation of collagen.
ठीक है. And the kind of collagen they form is called as the chicken wire fence pattern. Okay, like around the chicken there is a fence of wooden, right, like you can see in this pic. These are the fibrosis conditions. Okay, around the cell, right, and they give the appearance like a chicken wire fence. Okay, last is the perisinusoidal fibrosis produce the bridging fibrosis, that is it connects the central vein to central vein, portal vein to portal vein, like this. Okay, and is seen mostly in micronodular cirrhosis. Seen in micronodular cirrhosis. Last stage will show you as a Lennox cirrhosis, that is the fibrotic scars. Around the cells there will be the scars of fibers. Okay, so this was about the morphology. Nodule surrounded by the fibrous tissue, as we can see here. Now if we come to the clinical features include them as patient will have symptoms like fever. Okay, fever, no food they want to eat, anorexia condition, there will be abdominal discomfort, okay, like a pain or irritation, ascites, पानी भर जाएगा, and signs like jaundice, excess intake of alcohol will be there, right, hepatomegaly will be there, as well as when we will take the biopsy, right, we will find the fatty liver as well, splenomegaly will be there, and there will be huge weight loss. If the patient had weight of 87 kg, now he will have only 65 kg. So all these are the features of alcoholic liver disease. When we do life diagnosis, the most important thing we should find is the increased level of AST and ALT. If their ratio is more than 2:1, then you have to clarify it as the ALD. Okay. Now since there is a fatty liver, there will be hyperbilirubinemia, increased formation of bilirubin, increased alkaline phosphatase, GGTP will be increased, and with that there will be decrease in globulin as well as decrease in albumin. And if we talk about the changes in the blood, then we will find the anemic patient because hemoglobin will be very low, clotting factor decreased, and infiltration, as we have said, so there will be neutrophilia. Now there are some prognostic score for alcoholic hepatitis to confirm that this is the alcoholic hepatitis case. First one that is important is the discriminant function. Discriminant function is 4.6 into prolongation of prothrombin time. Okay, this can be calculated by the subtracting the prothrombin time of patient and prothrombin time of control. There will be prolonged prothrombin time. In patients with alcoholic hepatitis, they will have prolonged prothrombin time. Okay, and we will add the bilirubin level. So if the score is less than 32, then the mortality rate is only 10%. And if the score is more than 32, then there is mortality rate up to 35%, and most of them are seen with the encephalopathy as well, or heart syndromes as well. Next is the Glasgow alcoholic hepatitis score.
This is also useful score. In this, according to this table, we have to classify them. If the score is more than 9, then there is poor prognosis. Okay. Then there is MELD score. If it is more than 20, then it also the indication of alcoholic hepatitis. And last is the ABIC score. If we talk about the treatment, since the steatosis, fatty liver formation are reversible process, and if the cessation of alcohol is there, right, the conditions can be reversed. Smoking should also be ceased. Then improve diet, because there will be loss of vitamins, right, loss of vitamin A, other vitamins, so we have to improve the diet. Corticosteroids are given in patients with severe alcoholic hepatitis. Okay. Then the most used drug is prednisolone. Okay, it is given up to 40 mg per day for 4 weeks, है ना, and it is contraindicated and not used in active GI bleeding, in hemorrhage conditions, in renal failure, as well as in pancreatitis. So for alternative, this is the alternative. So for alternative, we can give the patient with pentoxifylline. The dose here is 400 mg per day for 4 weeks. So then we have to give the antioxidants, because there will be formation of ROS, that is the reactive oxygen species, है ना, and there will be increased pro-oxidant which are leading to the oxidative stress. Hence we have to give the antioxidant to them. TNF inhibitor, because the inflammation in the stellate cell is produced by the activation of TNF alpha, right? So we have to give the TNF inhibitor, and the mostly the measure is liver transplantation. But in alcoholic hepatitis patients, liver transplantation should not be done, as it can be risky for their life while doing the surgery. Hence we do not consider liver transplantation in the alcoholic hepatitis patients. And how a patient can be died due to alcoholic liver disease? It can be due to hepatic coma, GIT hemorrhage, infection, any alcoholic hepatitis, hepatorenal syndrome, and hepatocellular carcinoma. We can remember it by high five. Okay. There are 4, 5 H. So there will be high five condition. What are they? Hepatic coma, GIT hemorrhage, infection, alcoholic hepatitis, hepatorenal syndrome, and hepatocellular carcinoma. So this was all about the ALD. If you like the video, do like, comment, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.